Republican strategist Max Schlapp, syndicated radio show host and former aide to Senator Chuck Schumer. Chris Hahn join me now. All right, gentlemen. I think the news of the night right now is that the Pennsylvania recount has stopped, so we don't know what's going on in Michigan and Wisconsin. What we do know is yesterday the AG in Michigan brought an order to stop it. But here's the bottom line. If you've just got Michigan and Wisconsin, which is 16 and 10 electoral votes, it's enough to move anything. So was this really all a fraud to get money into the coffers of Jill Stein? Mr. Hahn?
I think, yeah. I mean, I am not a fan of Jill Stein's. I told you this last week, Judge. I'm dubious on her. I don't like her. I don't trust her. What'd you say?
I said truth and justice on justice.
There you go.
That's it?
I mean, I think that she's a fraud. I think she's using this to raise money. Would I like to know if there was any mischief in those votes? Sure, but I don't think she's the person who should be going after it, and I think that we're going to let it go, and we're going to be done with it, and I think that's enough with her.
All right, Matt, so why did Hillary Clinton's team join in the fray?
Because, you know, Donald Trump is going on a victory tour, and Hillary Clinton's going on a sore loser tour. It was over at Harvard University the other day where they're blaming the alt-right and racism for Donald Trump's victory.
What is the alt-right? Would somebody please explain what that means?
I'll tell you what it is. It's a term that basically Hillary Clinton popularized in her own speech during the campaign. And from what our research shows is there's one group that claims that title. It has about 200 members. Is a little bit of a splinter group and has absolutely nothing to do with the conservative movement or the Republican Party. But it was a nice tactic for Hillary Clinton. And guess what? She lost, and she needs to stop the recounts, and she needs to stop blaming other people. She needs to go to the Hamptons, and she needs to relax.
Yeah, well, she spent enough time there raising money, but I want to move on. Okay, now, Chris, I want to talk about the Democratic Party. So, we have Nancy Pelosi. She beats, what's his name, Tim Ryan, is it? What was his name? I've got it here.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, she beats him, and now she continues to be the House Minority Leader, and she lost in, I think, 2010, 12, 14, and 16 in the House. Why do they keep making her the leader?
You know, I don't know, but there needs to be a major shift in the way the Democratic Party goes about picking candidates. It can't just be about money and proximity to money. They've got to find candidates that connect with the districts that they're running in and then move those candidates forward and then help them get the resources they need to campaign effectively. I think right now it's all about who could raise the money, who's willing to just sit on the phone for 8 hours a day, and they're not finding candidates that are really connecting with the voters in their congressional districts. I think once they make that shift, you'll see more competitive races around the country. It'll be good for everybody.
You know, Matt, he makes a good point. I think it is all about the money, but I want to put something else up, Matt, and I want you to respond to it. Now, we've got the senior whip in Congress, a gentleman by the name of Cleaver, and he made a statement about Pelosi when she won against Ryan, and he says, at the present time, I've got to say, we have no strategy. We have no plan, but at least we have proven leadership that can take us into what's going to be a new era. In other words, even though we keep losing, we don't have a strategy. It reminds me of Obama and ISIS, but I digress.
Stop.
He says, we're good. No, you're not.
Yeah, this is a real moment for the Democratic Party. Remember, they were all ready to spike the ball. They were going to have this great election. They were going to come close to taking back the majority in the House. They were going to get the Senate. Hillary Clinton was going to be ensconced in the White House, and they lost everything. And they've done more losing under Barack Obama than they've ever done in the history of their party, all the way down to dog catcher. And so now they're looking inward, and they're saying, my Lord, we've lost everything. What do we stand for? What's our strategy? I think Congressman Cleaver is actually being honest, and I think the reason why people like Nancy Pelosi don't move aside is that for liberals, political power is the most important thing in the world. They don't give it up easily.
Well, all right. I want to move on. I want to talk very quickly about Mattis. Okay, Chris, to you, junior senator of New York. She wants to block it. It's not going to be blocked. He's going to make it. People love him. You know, for confirmation, what is it, 52, you can get 8 from the other side. But the waiver, I understand, is going to take more than that, which is kind of interesting. Well, why is she doing this? Why is Gillibrand doing this?
Well, you know, I don't think this is about Mattis himself, because I think nobody argues that he's not a qualified candidate. It's about the separation between the military power and the civilian leadership of the military. And the National Security Act of 1947 was very clear, and quite frankly, the framers were very clear. They wanted civilian control of the military. I think he's a great candidate, but I do think we have to have a conversation about whether this waiver should be given, because civilian control of the military is a major founding stone of our country.
Matt, quickly, I've got 10 seconds.
That act is unconstitutional. The president can pick anybody he wants. Donald Trump has no military experience. Him picking a general is exactly the right thing. He only needs 50 votes to be confirmed, and it'll be the 60 vote threshold.
Matt Schlapp, very quickly. Chris, I don't have time. Quickly. Mercedes Schlapp, a name, a woman that we love here at Fox, possible RNC chairman. Interesting.
I just left her at dinner to come over and do your show, because in our family, your show's the priority. Obviously,
you know
I'm a big fan of President Trump and my wife. I'm not going to make either of them upset at me, so no comment.
Guys,
I'm a huge fan of Mercedes Schlapp. I just hope she can get around some of that baggage she's got.
Coming up, I take Street Justice to Rockefeller